We are overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and every word of our testimony.
Artistry changed my life. It helped me in so many ways, and it started when I was in like 3rd grade. I went through a lot of traumatic events growing up in my life, a lot of struggles, and art was my way to voice change, heal. I was in 3rd grade. I moved around a lot growing up. Unfortunately, both of my parents, they were on drugs during that time. So we stayed with different family members. We was in a system. It was just like so many different things that was going on. And I remember I was in 3rd grade and I started to play the violin. I was acting, and I went through some abusive things. And I remember using the tools that my teacher had taught me with artistry. Like, she was like, when you act, you have to be present, but at the same time, you can't be in the environment you're in. You have to use your imagination. You have to create. You have to go to another place. And I'll never forget when she said that to me. When a lot of things happened in my life, I went to another place. I used my imagination. And the moment that I allowed myself to use my imagination, I realized like I could live, I could fight through what I was experiencing. And it was that moment that I let art breathe. So I went through so many things, and you'll hear that story more in detail later. But I went through a lot of things growing up. In my teenage years, you know, I had my daughter at 16 years old, pregnant at 15. And I thought it was over for me doing artistry. I did it in church and I acted. I was so-called, what they would say, extra. But you always want to be in the front. But it wasn't that. I was taught that skill to not be afraid to come forward, to do something that somebody else wouldn't do. And art took me to another place. I thought I had to give it up because I was now a mom. So I had went into the medical field. I got married young. I went through a divorce. All of these things just kept happening over and over. And I feel like, forget it. I'm not doing it. God, you ain't called me to it. Forget it. And I made a choice to, like, I know art heals. I know it can change somebody's life. I know the principles that we learn. Like, for example, when you do improv, you have to think right in that moment. Well, my whole life I felt like this improv. I didn't know what was the next thing that was happening, so I had to figure it out. And that skill set, I really realized how powerful it is. So when I say let art breathe, I'm saying inhale it, like take it in, see it, experience it. A lot of times we just think is dancing or acting or writing. It's so much bigger. You are creating from within. That's when you letting art breathe. I don't care what field you're in, it's creative. So you're inhaling it, you're taking it in, you seeing it, you are allowing the artistry to affect you in some type of way. And when you exhaling it, you are applying it, you are bringing it from inside out, and now other people can experience that breath. I believe all fields of artistry is it revives you. It's like a defibrillator. It brings back life. We all need to breathe. Let Art Breathe Productions, I want to unsilence the silence. I want to create ways where people who may not always have their advantage to create a piece or, you know, to do whatever, they got a place. I want to be able to, at any age, I want to have, you know, I will have, right, workshops and classes for our youth. I know how it impacted my life, and I want to be that center that can impact that production center. And when I say that center, the center of you, the soul of who you are, your will, your mind, emotions, is always connected to artistry, and you have to let it breathe. So that's just a quick testimony of how artistry not only changed my life, but how I want artistry to change your life. I want to unsilence the silence in artistry. and bring it back to its creative place, to let people know that artistry can live in you and to not give up. You know, you will hear more details about even my journey on building the building and how I'm getting to where I got, and what are some of those triumphs and tragedies that I allowed to push me and not being afraid to evolve. So when you hear Let Art Breathe, know it's bigger than a name. It's going to bring breath back into a person's soul so they can live again, smile, think better, and move. So join me and continue to join me on this journey of building, creating, and producing Let Art Breathe. Thank you for listening. It's so much more to come. Remember, let art breathe in you. See you later.